Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello, welcome back as always, guys. Actually, sorry about that echo. Okay, looks like the echo's gone. Anyhow, welcome everybody. We are here for the Alpha Pro series between SouLeer and Vindicta. I'm your caster Snoopy, and joined by my side is Gravity.
Yo, yo, yo! How's it going, everybody? All right. And I'm excited to get into this. How you been doing, Snoopy?
They've been doing okay. Been watching these Alpha Pro series, and so far they've been good. So hopefully this one is as good as the others have been.
I definitely hope so, too. I think, I've seen at least Vindicta play, and he has been showing pretty strong. SouLeer, obviously taking the match should be pretty good as well. So I'm excited to see. It's going to be a TVZ today. And I tell you what, TVZs can get pretty crazy. And, I'm excited to see it. So
Yeah, same here. TVZ, my favorite matchup to watch overall, just because there's so much action across the map. And I'm assuming with these players' playstyle, we're going to see a lot of action.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hope so anyways. So, I hope we get at least a couple of long games just to kind of see these players really kind of pushing out all of their micro. But you know what? We may see some crazy cheese games as well. So, should be good.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and introduce our first player here. Spawning at the bottom right side of the map, it is the purple Zerg player. He is SouLeer.
Alrighty. And in the top left, in the red, playing as the Terran Pieces. Give it up. It is Vindicta.
Alright, so first map will be on Kyle's Junction. I was allowed the privilege of picking the first map. Decided to just go ahead and do a random number generator to choose whichever map, and then afterwards loses pick. So whoever doesn't come out on top in this game will choose the next map. But let's go ahead and see what's up in this game. Looks like an early gas pool from SouLeer. He might be thinking of going for some aggression here. What do you think?
Definitely. I think it could be, going one base. Already should have had an expansion down. But we see him eventually kind of throwing one down. But he will be able to have that early pressure. We see a lot of times Zerg players like to get a quick, 6 lings to try to deny the expansion from the Terran, as well as put a little bit of aggression, a little bit of pressure on them. So looks like we may have exactly that coming around the corner here. And, Vindicta coming across with a SEV should be able to scout this out pretty well and, either try to finish this, the CC or, cancel it, maybe try to bunker down a little bit here. So we'll see how he responds to this. But coming in and seeing the timing there of the hatchery and seeing how quick these lings are, he's got to know that there's some pressure coming.
Yeah, so this SEV does not only scout, but also delays a little bit of the push from SouLeer. So this should give Vindicta some time to at least prepare the defense. Although he is getting a reactor on that barrack, so he's only going to have to rely on that Reaper to defend against this. He might need to pull some SCVs.
Yeah, definitely. I think, that's going to be the biggest aim here for the Terran player. He's going to be able to have to defend this. With the Reaper staying at home and with speed not done yet, he might be able to defend this, but it does look like SouLeer is actually going to continue on with some lings here, putting on some pressure as we see the Reaper getting a little bit of the engagement and lifting up to the top. Going to be really good here. Oh no, going to get... Oh!
So close.
So close to denying that factory. Very good job there, but SouLeer going to be able... Vindicta going to be able to get those Hellions out. Should be able to eventually kind of clean this up, but delaying the CC has been super key right here.
Yeah, he might actually get some additional SCVs here. 2 already going down. 3. Oh man, this is getting a little bit weird. Oh my god, if he cancels the CC, this is going to be really bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, the delayed on that as well as losing the minerals from it would be really nice here for SouLeer. But it looks like for the time being, going to go ahead and back up. He still has the pressure there. but getting 5 kills altogether, if we take a look, 7 altogether. Ooh, even the CC itself going to be flaming up. Gets the SCV and everything, so eventually we'll be able to land that into the main, start getting more and more of those SCVs, and be able to kind of rebuild that. But not having that expansion out while behind this SouLeer gets a 3rd base. This is going to be really nice for him. He's already in a very good economic lead, as well as he has, everything he is. He doesn't have to worry about any kind of crazy pressure coming from the Terran. The Terran is in complete defensive mode right now.
Yep, even gonna go ahead and send the Overlord in just to get a bit of scouting information, see what's Vindicta next move here. Does see that there is a tech lab on the factory, so he should at least assume that there is a tank producing out of it. In the meantime, we do have a Roach Warren coming down for SouLeer, so he's gonna go ahead and respond with that tank scouting with the Roaches.
Ooh, yeah. Very good job there. Doesn't actually see the Roach Warren just yet, but transitioning into something like this is going to be really nice. We already see the layer coming through, and we should be seeing some speed roaches coming across. Something that's always very powerful in these kind of engagements. And when you're as ahead as SouLeer is at the moment, it's always a good time and a good choice there. So,
yeah. And also, when you're ahead, as SouLeer is, it's always a good time to just, start getting that creep going. Roaches on the creep is get some extra boost, as well as lings, as well as even queens. And he does gonna need the creep to during the engagements, as well as also scouting. It's like free map hack, so really nice.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see a nice little move out here from Vindicta. Going to be able to kind of play on this. These Hellbats going to do a lot of damage against these Lings. The help of the tank and the Liberator are going to kind of force SouLeer in a little bit of a chance. If he can get the kill here on this hatchery, that's going to be a really nice pickup here for Vindicta. We are going to see him actually take out all the Lings. The Queen's going to be able to get on top of the Liberator, but I think Vindicta might have gotten this, at least at this point.
Oh man, yeah, I think SouLeer might have just overdrone here. I mean, he does have a really good worker lead, 48 to 32, but he has no army, or not significant army to defend against this. He's gonna have to fall back to his natural and produce enough units to finally clean this up.
Oh yeah, this is just really nice coming out here. SouLeer eventually will clean this up with the Roaches and the Queens, or maybe not even.
Oh,
I think there's just too many tanks here. Really good position.
Yeah, that cliff area, or that little rock area, is really good for tanks. So that's the reason why you see a lot of Zerg try to kill that rock before the tanks come and the army comes. But it was too late for SouLeer, and now SouLeer on the back foot.
Yep, definitely. This is alrighty. So tanks just going to slowly start moving themselves up here, and just keep pushing into this. Actually going to lift up and move out. I think this is actually a smart move here from Vindicta. Even though he was able to get the kill, was able to kind of push this back. If he were to overextend and lose those tanks, lose what he has, it really gives SouLeer an opportunity to kind of come back into this. And for the time being, Vindicta has been able to kind of even this up. Yeah,
definitely doesn't want to overextend and lose his whole entire army. When you reset the tank count, it's kind of hard to build that back up. So able to save those 2 tanks, even got the Banshee with the cloak. That's going to be a really strong second wave attack by Vindicta.
Definitely, for sure. So far, they're just going to sit back for the time being, just building up supply, building up everything that he needs at this moment. And this does give Vindicta the opportunity to build up his tanks. He's got Banshees on the way here with Cloak finishing up. And, there's no Spore Crawlers around. Well, there's one on the edge there of the main, but not a whole lot of anti-detection, not a whole lot that's going to shoot up here. And this is just brilliantly played here from Vindicta, as he is going to be able to at least get a few more of these kills before the Overseer comes in.
Yeah, in the meantime, that forces SouLeer to go ahead and try for a counterattack, but oh my god, so many great tank positioning, great tank spread. Will force that back, loses a bunch of roaches, and now, I mean, if you look at the army supply, it's pretty close, but roaches and army supply is a little deceiving, so I would definitely give the edge to Vindicta in terms of the army quality, while SouLeer does have the army quantities advantage.
Definitely. And the thing is Vindicta has been able to really maximize the potential of his army, getting the best value out of them, and able to get quite a bit of kills without sacrificing too much of it. As SouLeer, isn't using it to the best of his advantage. You check the units lost tab and all of that. The minerals lost, the gas loss is definitely kind of showing with that. So very nice here so far, but. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, so he does save the banshees, just barely. So that's gonna allow him to go in further more in the future, get some additional as drone kills. And then meanwhile, looks like SouLeer, he's gonna go ahead, might look for an attack. He's pulling, he's producing a lot of roaches, and oh, actually this engagement out in the middle could be dangerous for SouLeer.
Yeah, I mean, I like this from Vindicta of clearing the creep, trying to push onto the base, but still Vindicta needs to be careful that he doesn't push too far. But there's not a whole lot here. I mean, there are quite a bit of roaches, so this could eventually get some good damage. The tanks are on siege at this point, so not going to be able to maximize any kind of splash damage till just now where they siege up here, but Vindicta playing it pretty smart at this point.
Yep, currently Vindicta with a 1-1 upgrade lead over the +1 range of SouLeer. So he's going to have to make these corrosive bow shots really worth it here, especially with these tanks on the high ground. And here we go. Looks like he's going to go at... Oh, nice engagement on the Marine and Medevacs, or the Marine and Marauders, rather. But so many tanks on the back foot. It's doing a lot of splash damage on the roaches. Oh, great spread there, and I think SouLeer manages to clean this up with a great spread.
Yeah, I mean, really good job there. Those Ravengers able to corrosive bile on top of it, but at the same time, in the natural, looks like Vindicta gonna pick up the +2 upgrade there. Really nice pickup. Ooh. And get out of there. Finished it right in the nick of time there.
Yeah, that was just right in the nick of time. It was like 99.9% there.
Yeah, it was really bad. And so far, Vindicta doing a pretty good job here, but SouLeer going to be able to start picking up a lot of these units, just trying to clear up as much as possible. The creep spread from SouLeer still going across the map, actually almost to the third base here of the Terran player. But once that happens, these kind of creep highways are going to start forming, and it's going to be very tough for, Vindicta. But at the time being, with as many tanks that he has, he's playing pretty well at this point.
Yeah, certainly. We take a look at the worker count is 64 to 49, and you would think it would be in favor of SouLeer, but nope. It's actually in favor of the Terran player Vindicta, and that's never a good sign when the Terran player has more economy than the Zerg, especially with Zerg going for roaches. And here we go, skirmish in the middle of the map. So far, looking like Vindicta is gonna barely hold here.
Yeah, this is really nice. +2 gonna finish up, and I mean, all around looking pretty good. Vindicta slowly starting to push across the map, clearing up all the creep that he can as he goes to really kind of deny the vision here from the from the Zerg. Gonna have a little bit of an engagement here. The corrosive biles are gonna rain from the sky and actually pick up quite a few of those tanks, but not enough. Roaches are gonna survive, and GG will be called here as Vindicta takes game number 1.
Yeah, wow. I'm actually pretty surprised because SouLeer had a really, really nice opening game. He had a lot of damage done with those initial lanes, got some SCVs, delayed the CC, but I think he just overdroned. By the time Vindicta attacked, he was like 48 to 32 workers and didn't have enough army to defend against that, and that put him in the back foot throughout the rest of the whole game.
Yeah, definitely. I really love what Vindicta did there, even though he took a lot of early damage. was able to kind of counteract it. And that was one thing that was kind of a key throughout that whole experience was constantly trying to pay back what was done. We saw the reversal there, the killing off the third with the units that he could manage to scrounge up and just continue to, oh my god, to continue to put in the pressure, continue to do what he needed to finish that out.
Yep, and now we're gonna go ahead into EU's region, as we'll be switching from NA and EU since both players are from different regions. That allows, I guess, to balance out the ping issues. So anyhow, it's gonna be SouLeer's map of choice, and he does decide King's Cove will be the next map here. So let me go ahead and get that made.
All right. I'm excited to see this. I mean, as we said, TVZ is always kind of really cool to see. And right now it's in a really interesting spot where we do see a lot more like mech plays. We see a lot more kind of bio drops. We see kind of a mixture of both. While, from the Zergs, we see a lot more of these like Nidus plays. We see roaches being used. We just see all these cool diverse units being used, so it's been really awesome to see how it's evolved, how it's kind of come together.
Yep. All right, looks like the players are ready. Countdown has begun, and here we go. King's Cove, LE.
I like King's Cove. I think it's pretty good. We'll talk more about it here in just a minute.
Yep. All right. Here, spawning at the bottom right corner of the map is the red Terran player from Alpha X. He is Vindicta.
And in the top left, in the blue, playing as the Zerg pieces, give it up. It is SouLeer. All right. Very good stuff there. From the Wizards?
Yeah, Wizards Esports Club team.
Ah, awesome.
I heard you go there to become a wizard, like Harry Potter, It's kind of like the Hogwarts of StarCraft.
The Hogwarts of StarCraft, hey guys. I'll tell you what. If they can give me the correct spelling or correct pronunciation of Wingardium Leviosa, I think we'll have a good day.
Yeah.
All right, so looking into this again, gonna have that same style coming out here from SouLeer, going into that pool first. So gonna be able to again put on that pressure that we saw early game, denying a lot of the SCVs, denying that expansion. Even though, Vindicta did a really good job there of completing that CC in the midst of pressure. I think SouLeer has a good shot to at least deny it a little bit and maybe kind of change it. A big difference in this map is just how kind of close-knit all the bases are. And I wonder if that's going to play a little bit into SouLeer's play. But we'll have to see there.
Yeah, like you said, the bases are pretty close, so this map is actually a lot of time. You see a lot of like long games just because both players are more conservative. They're not as aggressive. They're not doing as much two base push or one base shenanigans. They like to macro out just because the bases are, like you said, easier to take.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I really like this map in general just because there's just so many different pathways you can take, whether you're a Zerg player or you're a Terran. There's just different ways you can go about it. Already we see Vindicta, knowing kind of previous games of how the aggression has been, so automatically just building a bunker there while getting all of his units inside the base, actually building the CC to make sure that it does complete. And SouLeer are going to take that third pretty much on time, and we'll finish up speed. So
Yeah, I like both players' response. I mean, Vindicta knowing what happened last game, pretty much the same opening by SouLeer. He's gonna go ahead and actually make the base on the main base instead of the naturals base in the main base, not making it in the low ground that where the Zerglings can snipe it. But then I like SouLeer's response too. He's like, you know what? You defended up. You got the right response. I'm just gonna pull back. I'm not gonna actually commit to this. I'm not gonna produce extra lings. But anyhow, we have a Reaper going on. Ooh, does get sniped rather quickly, so not much scouting information for Vindicta.
Yeah, I mean, that's just really unfortunate on a map like King's Cove, where there's just so many jumpable spots for a Reaper, for, you know, in the Protoss matchup for Blink Stalkers. It's really tough whenever you do lose something like that. But SouLeer just going to send a single ling across the map. Could try to get some scouting information off. Will get denied, but does at least see that there is that expansion coming out now, so should be more than okay. And behind this, just going to throw down a Bailing Nest. Going to go into Ling Bang, probably Hydra at this point, which on a map that this big as King's Cove, being able to have that mobility is going to be really key in your aggression as a Zerg player.
Yep, for sure. And looks like because SouLeer hasn't got a lot of scouting information done with his Lings and Overlords, he's going to actually put down some safety Spore Crawlers. Unfortunately for him, there's actually no Banshees on the way, so those Spore Crawlers are going to be a bit useless. But he does going to finally get that Overlord into the main base, and what does he see? He's going to see some Hellions.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of plays into the mind game as well here from Vindicta, because game one he did go into those Banshees. Automatically, SouLeer kind of taking the same precautions as Vindicta did in the early game of, I just need to make sure that I'm safe, I don't take too much damage against these Banshee plays and lose, you know, a lot of my economy. So both players just mind gaming each other at this point, while Vindicta is going to go ahead and move across with some Hellions. And he's going to go into a Banshee, or excuse me, a Hellbat push. And this is so deadly, considering SouLeer really hasn't scouted this out.
Yep, so far the defense is good. He's got a lot of Queens here to defend against this. And he's got a lot of Banelings. Oh, and a nice attempted wraparound here. Ooh, almost. Can he get it? Oh, he does! Wow, nice Baneling connection there. And this gets cleaned up rather easily.
Yeah, I mean, SouLeer just had so many Bailings there, was able to get the good connections that he needed, able to really force Vindicta kind of not to be able to spread out like he wants to, and just took maximum damage there. Lings are going to go ahead and move across the map and start putting on a little bit of pressure, but Vindicta already still has Hellions there to, you know, help guard against this, so going to be more than fine. And, you know, it looks like we're going to get some mech out of Vindicta now.
Yeah, I have seen him go for mech before, and yeah, he's pretty solid in both mech and bow, so I mean, this map is pretty good for mech too, and I think, yeah, he's, SouLeer actually going for the right response. He's going for the roaches immediately, which will help against that mech army. A little bit of a sneaky Viking at the back, looking to do some harass, but nice spore caller. I guess those spore callers weren't as useless as I said before.
Yeah, I mean, even in like later game tech, those are still going to be able to produce a little bit of value, especially, you know, if we do get into trying to get multiple harassments with Liberators, with you know, drops and stuff like that. That's going to put a little bit of a damper for Vindicta. But other than that, not going to be too bad. You got the third CC finally down here for Vindicta as well, and just more and more factories coming through. We've even got, you know, upgrades coming in. We've got Blue Flame. We've got that Cyclone upgrade. So everything looking pretty good so far.
Yep, we're kind of come to the point where the game is stabilizing. Both players are just macroing up, getting their tech of choice. And SouLeer getting that fast infestation pit, and gonna go ahead and try to tech up to Hive, because when you're dealing with a mech army, especially of Vindicta's caliber, you definitely want to get those third tier units, which is accessible with those. Oh, actually, he's going for some Nidus play here.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this. I don't know if he's scout. I didn't see if he scouted this yet or not, but as far as in the base, SouLeer doesn't know that it's mech unless he's seen this kind of mech army. But going with the Swarm Host, going with the Nidus play is going to be really nice, and especially with the slow-moving army that Vindicta has, it's going to produce a nice fight, anyways. So.
All right. In the meantime, we do have a little bit of a one medevac drop here at the natural, but does get scouted. Nice response by SouLeer, positioning his army there. Nidus is done, and the Nidus will go at the, I guess, the base nearest to the natural at the top. And so far, there's actually no defense here. Actually, Vindicta's army is out in the middle of the map, so this might actually do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things where does SouLeer go ahead, come across, okay, he's just going to do the Swarm Host and move back. That's going to be a really nice play here. Get some damage, kind of make sure you're not taking too much at home, and still be able to defend. Vindicta going to have to defend on two fronts, automatically lifting the CC here and pulling the SCVs, but these Swarm Hosts going to deal a lot of damage at home, and we already see the Roaches, the Bailings, the Lynx coming across the map to do even more damage here.
Yep, and SouLeer's going to take this opportunity to try to push in, but there is some nice, good tank positioning. Will be able to defend against those Roaches, but still no answer yet for these Swarm Hosts. So these Swarm Hosts can definitely keep up the harass and do it over and over again until Vindicta can actually snipe that Nidus worm.
Yep, he's even going to throw down another Nidus here right next to his army, give him a little bit more of a buffer to get more of his units across the map quicker, since there isn't any like creep or anything there. So that's going to be really nice in these engagements. The Roach is just going to go straight into the third base here, getting on top of all of the tanks, getting on top of everything. The Swarm Host going to join in as well here, but I think Vindicta has a little too much at this point. It will push this back for the time being. You know what? He's not even going to be able to get into the Nidus worm. And a lot of these Swarm Hosts, I think, are just going to fall apart.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, mech army are pretty beefy, so I guess it's expected somehow. But yeah, this is going to force SouLeer to retreat here. And what does he have? He has 15 Roaches on the production tab. There's actually not a lot of tanks, so I think he should be okay. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing right now is going to be those Swarm Hosts, but if Vindicta can manage to attack those while they're on cooldown, while they don't have any of the Locusts on them, it's going to provide a little bit more of a buffer. The big thing right now is those Roaches, the Ravengers, because they deal so much damage against these tanks, against Hellions in general. It's going to be kind of tough here. And it looks like SouLeer going to go ahead once again for an attack. He has +2, as well as he has a really big army league, but a lot of it is in these Swarm Hosts that are somewhat fragile.
Ooh, a little bit of an overextension there by Vindicta. Kind of moved towards SouLeer's base a little too far, and SouLeer was able to pick off some units there. And he needs all the units that he can get right now, because this is a big Roach army with a lot of Swarm Hosts. So
yeah, very much so. And the tanks will go down. The Planetary Fortress is going to help out some here, as we do also have the Nidus Worm coming into play. Prosobalis is going to take out the tanks with ease. And yeah, I mean, Vindicta is struggling for sure. The Nidus Worm going to go into the third as well to help with this. And I think Vindicta might hold this off for the time being here, but with the reinforcements coming through, definitely going to present a big problem here for Vindicta.
oh, actually, there's not a lot of anti-air here, so these Banshees are making work. Vindicta did manage to snipe off a base, but there is still a lot of army supply for SouLeer, and I think he might be able to take down this Planetary. Ooh, this is going to be close.
Yeah, these Banshees, like you said, doing a lot of work and really kind of helping solidify or at least stabilize here for Vindicta, but SouLeer, I think, overextending just a little bit here as he is pushing as hard as he can.
Yeah, he wasn't able to manage to take down the planetary, but the good thing is that he did take down 28 workers, so that is a nice... I mean, if you're gonna not be able to complete your mission, at least, you know, to go home at least knowing that you caused some casualty. And now, Vindicta down to 62 workers. Not too shabby, but could have been better.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely lost, I think it said 21 there. So lots of SCVs lost, but still has enough to kind of at least stabilize his economy. Plus, with the addition of mules, he should be okay in that front. But unfortunately, because of these Nidus worms and stuff, he has not been able to expand. And as this game goes on, the thing of malnutrition kind of becomes relevant here. And he's not going to have the gas he needs. He's not going to have the minerals. So each of these units is going to be so costly if he loses them. He's not going to be able to just throw them away. And he's got to expand. He's got to keep doing something, or SouLeer's just going to suck him dry at this point.
All right, looks like SouLeer attempting to do a little bit of a run by here. I think he might want to actually trade out these roaches because, you know, late game, these roaches supply, you know, doesn't really help you as much. So he's going to go ahead and try to trade out some roaches here, free up some supply maybe to get some other units. But as I say that, he's actually making a bunch of roaches on the production tab. So I guess he's just going to go ahead and just sack these roaches, get as much economic damage. And in the meantime, he's actually going to go dive in with these hydras at the 4th base here. I'm not sure if he can get a lot of damage here done. There's a lot of tanks, but we'll see.
I mean, he's definitely transitioning into this Roach Hydra army, kind of diverting from from everything else that he's been doing. And because of how many Banshees there are, he really wants to have that anti-air protection. This planetary fortress has just been so crucial in these engagements and keeping Vindicta alive here.
Yeah,
and you know, with the roaches coming in, just try to get as much damage as possible. SouLeer knows he's in a good spot, gets an additional 24 SCV kills, and he is just trying to play with his food at this point. But it's not over yet. He still has, you know, a lot to do here. So
yeah, actually, let's take a look at the units lost. It's actually, oh my god, 61 SCVs going down this game. Jesus Christ. And he's still at 64. He's not in a terrible position here in terms of the worker count. That's crazy.
Are we sure we're not watching TY right now?
I know, right?
TY always has like half of his economy or half of his supply in just SCVs. And, you know, yeah, I think we are, because he's back up to, oh, never mind, that's hard. I thought he was up to 89 workers. I was like, oh god. But no, it really does kind of help with this. And so even though he is taking this economic damage, he has enough to kind of stabilize and not miss out on too many of his rotations in his production to be able to keep that aggression up. And adding on these planetary fortresses, knowing the pressure and stuff that's there, has been really nice here for Vindicta.
Oh, Vindicta, want to be careful with those Banshees. Those Banshees can come in handy later in the game. Oh, loses a couple of them. Wasn't able to attack before Cloak. In the meantime, we do have a little bit of a army group here at the bottom left corner of this 5th base by Vindicta. But I think with the tanks and the Hellions and the planetary, shouldn't be able to do much damage there. And now he's going to go ahead and Tech 2 Hive. 17 minutes into the game, and he's going to finally get Hive, start getting those, potentially those Vipers, maybe even some Ultralists. We'll see. Maybe Broodlords.
Yeah, and this is a really key thing. If you look, the Nidus Worm itself is housing so much of these units here from SouLeer. He's really trying to set up a good engagement, set up a good attack with the Nidus Worm. So the fact that he is kind of just keeping those at the moment and still holding off with what he has just kind of shows how powerful SouLeer is at this point. Banshees are going to do some good work, at least getting some drones, but now with the Hydras out, it's just going to be super tough for him to get anything done with this.
Oh, but he does use the Banshee as a distraction, get some damage done at the far side, on the far right side. While the Banshee does go into the main base, actually there's no detection here, so he's going to be able to maybe get the spawning pool, although I don't think that's the biggest loss because SouLeer not making any links at this point.
Yeah. The good thing is he is scouting that there is Hive Tech out now, so he can be kind of prepare for that. Already, we see some Thors coming out to help with this army. We see the Ghost Academy coming down, knowing that there's a possibility for Ultra's possibility to going up to, I guess, potentially into Broodlords, but with the way that SouLeer has been playing, Ultras are more likely going to be what it is. And we even see +3 carapace coming through, getting all of those upgrades ready, and it's going to be good. But right now, it's Vindicta just trying to hold everything off, trying to expand and get some economy still going. But SouLeer has so much gas, so much minerals. He can really just remake this army at this point and not have to worry too much about it.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing I do hope that he does is start actually pushing the creep. He does have a good amount of creep, but it's kind of mostly on his half of the side of the map. I like him to start spreading it to the Vindicta side of the map. And it will be able to help with spotting pushouts just like this that's coming to his expansion here. And ooh, actually he doesn't have too big of an army. His other half of the army is actually across the map trying to retreat here. Oh boy, this concave might actually work into his favor.
Yeah, this is really nice. The tanks are going to go ahead and siege up here. Those Thors dealing a lot of damage, as well as those Cyclones. It looks like this will eventually get cleaned up here, but Vindicta needs to be careful pushing into this. There's still a lot of army here for SouLeer to deal with this, but with the Thors having +3, with these tanks having +3, one wrong move and SouLeer could lose us all. He
Yeah.
hits the Spider as well.
Oh, that's going to be tough because he definitely needs those Vipers against his army. Oh my god, this tank's doing so much splash damage. The Viper, gets sniped by the Thor. Wasn't able to get the Blinding Cloud. And oh my god, the SouLeer I think he might have just thrown this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was sitting back. A lot of his army, again, just sitting in the Nidus. Still, he has a lot of units in the Nidus, not even using it. And GG's going to be called there. And SouLeer, yeah, unfortunately throwing away kind of a big big win there, as he was dealing so much damage to that army. Just wasn't able to get it there. So
Yeah, I have a feeling he might have forgotten the other half of his, or the other units in his Nidus Worm. Sometimes you can forget. You put it into the Nidus Worm and you just forget about it as the game goes on.
definitely.
All right. While we're waiting for the next game here. Oh wait, actually we have to switch back to
US.
NA. Yep, NA here. In the meantime, before we get into the next game, I'd like to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, 24 Hour Fitness. They've been around for over 30 years. They've been helping people achieve their fitness goals. They have over 430 locations nationwide. So if you want to go to your nearest 24-hour fitness, I'm sure there's some place around. You just search it up. They're all fully equipped with weights, cardio machines, pools, studio classes, and more. And the best part is that they are open 24/7, so you can go to the gym whenever you are free, whenever you want. So yeah, go ahead and check out our friends at 24 Hour Fitness, and thank you to them for helping sponsor events such as these.
Definitely, I always love 24-hour fitness.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get Vindicta to choose his next map. Oh no, I'm not Vindicta, SouLeer.
Okay. It's a loser's pick, correct?
Yep. So New Repungency will be our next map here.
All right. Oh, click on the link.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little worried here for SouLeer, because the first game he had a really good opening. He was in the lead, I think, after the opening, and then last game he was in the lead. But then both games, he's kind of squandered the lead and let Vindicta take the win here. Oh, actually, we waiting for Enki. Let's invite him into the game here. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried for SouLeer here, but we'll see if he can bounce back and win this next game.
Yeah, definitely. I think, he's got the things that he needs to get victory. He's just got to kind of put them in order a little bit better. He's really kind of pushed Vindicta to the edge a couple of times, but he's not able to just clean it out to finish the job there. So he needs to do something to keep up the aggression, keep doing what he's doing, but not to just back up and allow Vindicta to get into these situations where he can come back. Because if you allow Vindicta to do that, he will come back.
Oh yeah, he's such a great player that you definitely don't want to give him any chance of coming back. But anyhow, let's go ahead and introduce our players here. Spawning at the bottom left corner of the map, he is the red Terran player from Team Alpha X. He's none other than Vindicta.
Alrighty, and in the top right, in the orange, playing as the Zerg player, or playing as a Zerg, give it up, it is SouLeer.
Alright, so 2-0 lead for Vindicta. However, luckily for SouLeer, this is a best of 9, so have plenty of more chances to come back. First player to 5 wins will be able to win. If you haven't done so yet, guys, in the Africa chat, there should be a Matcherino link with a Matcherino code to enter, so you can help add 50 cents to the prize pool. I'm sure these players will definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always really cool to give back to the players and allow them to make a little bit more money, because they do indeed need that money, as some of them do rely on it, and it's really nice to be able to have that extra cash in your pocket. So make sure you guys do use the code, support that, and already some crazy stuff. We got a 3 racks coming out here from Vindicta. SouLeer actually going for a hatch first this game, so not going to be as aggressive as previous, knowing that Vindicta's kind of found out his style there, and looks like we're going to get ourselves some crazy Reaper play here.
Yeah, this is like so unfortunate for SouLeer. Is that the past 2 games he's been opening with the gas into pool first, and this would have been a situation where he definitely wanted to open up with the gas pool first, but instead he's actually went for the hatch first, and then especially on this map where it's actually really short distance. So, but we'll see how he responds to this. So far, he's taking no damage. Nice micro.
Yeah, really good job here so far. Going to be able to pick up a couple of links here. So far, there isn't any speed on the way. Actually, SouLeer going to go straight into roaches behind this. So, for the time being here, Vindicta going to be able to get quite a bit of damage done. And, this is going to be really good for him here.
Ooh, taking a bit of health on that queen. Is down to half life. It would be so unfortunate for him to lose this queen. He's got to buy some time, though, for these roaches. 4 roaches on the production tab. Ooh, nice drone save. They were morphing into a spore crawler, so nicely done there.
Yeah, for sure. We have more Reapers on the way here, but now we have a couple of roaches on the way. 2 of them have popped already, and Vindicta's still putting on the pressure here, but with these roaches coming out, it's going to provide a little bit more solid defense for SouLeer, but will it be enough, as we also have the Ravagers coming through? And I'm kind of afraid still here for SouLeer. He's doing a good job of getting a lot of these roaches, getting a lot of that kind of tech coming through, but with Vindicta getting more and more Reaper, that'd be a scary thing to have to try to defend against.
One sneaky Reaper coming down to the backside, but nicely defended there by SouLeer. And will be able to take his dirt base freely. So, so far, pretty good defense there by SouLeer. I mean, considering that that he decided to go for hatch first.
Yeah, I mean, altogether, he's only lost 4 lings and a queen to basically 3 reapers. So not terrible, not terrible at all, and still holding off, able to, like you said, get that 3rd base, and Vindicta playing a little behind at this point. I mean, he does have the army, which is nice, but he sacrificed the workers to be able to make all of these to get that more aggressive kind of play coming out. He does have the expansion done, and he is making marines, he's making tanks, he's got the stem on the way, so he's doing everything that he needs to, but he's got to be careful because a counterattack with as many roaches as there is, and with the Ravagers and stuff, could be very scary.
Yeah, I mean, and also he did not just sacrifice his economy, but also his tech, because he's now behind in tech wise, at least delayed, as he was investing those gases into Reapers instead of like a factory or a starport. So he's going to be a little bit behind. Stem is researching, so that'll be a little ways done. In the meantime, Reapers go into the main base, trying to get some extra damage here. Will he get that Ravagers? Ooh, just barely. Oh, actually, nope, never mind. He's going back for it.
This is just really nice. Baneling Nest is on the way now for SouLeer. He is getting the Numanized Carapace as well. And, he does have a hot layer on the way, so he is making the strides to go up in tech while still having to defend all of this pressure from these Reapers. They are starting to dwindle, though, and as this game goes on, those Reapers are going to lose a little bit of their value, or, the power, the oomph that they needed. And actually behind this, gotta take a 4th base as well. This is really good for SouLeer.
Yeah, he's recognized the fact that he hasn't taken much damage by these Reapers, so he's gonna get actually a little bit greedy, and I think it's actually gonna work. He's gonna get away with it. I mean, there's not much of an army, and Stem is not done yet, so I don't see this 4th base getting under siege anytime soon.
A beautiful surround here, actually, with the Reapers. Going to finally clean those up. And now SouLeer has put an end to the pressure. He's got his creep spread going and looking really nice altogether. So, a very good job. 3rd base is on the way for Vindicta, and we do see a little bit of a move out coming out from Vindicta now, as Combat Shields is finishing up, as Stim is done. And he's just going to keep on this pressure. But I think at this point, with the Balings, with the Roaches, and with these Lings, it's going to be pretty tough here for Vindicta to keep pressing into this.
Yep, a lot of Banelings morphing in. Unfortunately, the Hydralisk Den won't be in time before this attack. But oh, nice siege position by Vindicta there.
Yeah, that's a really nice position there. Just able to drop those right in, provide some cover fire here for the Marines as well, so...
Alright, he's going to decide to back off, retreat, to sack that base, because his Baneling speed isn't done yet. So Vindicta, heading at a really nice timing, forces SouLeer to lose the base. But luckily for him, he actually had another base, as we said earlier. So not too big of a loss there for SouLeer.
Yeah, and I mean, even behind all of that, he throws down another base so they can go back up to that 4th. You have +1 finishing up and that centrifugal hooks. So the bailing speed going to be done as well, and altogether this is going to be really nice for them. But still, Vindicta is across the map and still putting on pressure here, so he's got to be super careful with another drop coming into his 3rd or more.
Ooh, nice surround there by SouLeer. Does lose his Vindicta does lose his 2 tanks. He's got to be careful because he doesn't want to just lose his army for nothing. Trying to get some damage done at the natural, but again, nicely defended there by SouLeer. Got his army split really nicely. There's actually 2 medevacs to the north of the main base as well, so he might actually... Oh no, he's not going to join them together. He's going to actually try to harass the 3rd base there. Maybe? Looks like no, he's just retreating.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to drop into the main, didn't get a whole lot done there, and decided to pick up and move out. He knows that there is a threat of a counterattack, so just going to go ahead and sit back for the time being. He's got a couple of Liberators actually going across, but all of his army is across the map. There's not a whole lot here to deal with this Ling run by. he's going to take a lot of damage. The only thing there is tanks, and tanks unfortunately do friendly fire. But at the same time, he's going to be able to attack onto his new third base here, get some pressure done. But with the Hydras showing up, he will have to evacuate and keep that pressure on. So.
Alright, some nice Liberator harass at the natural of SouLeer, forces the drones, and in the meantime, he's going to actually redrop at the main base. Oh, but nice Baneling connections will clean that up rather easily. And so far, SouLeer defending all these harasses really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Vindicta at this point is trying to attack 3 different fronts. He is doing a good job here because in the natural, he is delaying mining time. But with the other fronts coming through, it's just... SouLeer is just playing this so well. He's got, there's basically 4 bases going. 5th base as well. Probably going to be on the way here pretty quickly. And Vindicta definitely in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
As this keeps going on. With, I believe, +2 just finished up.
So. Yep. So +2 versus +1 of Vindicta. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by SouLeer thus far. I mean, defending against, you know how hard it is to defend against 3 attacks at once. I mean, that is some really high level play there. I mean, remember back in like even the Heart of the Swarm days, even the early days of Legacy of the Void, where three harass at the same time was like really difficult. And at this point, how far advanced the players have become, they've been able to defend against like 3, 4. Maybe even 5 attacks at once.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool to see again this evolution that we've seen in StarCraft, where players are getting better and better. We now have like an AI that is essentially going to make them, I believe, progress even further in their skills to stay caught up, to be the best, and to be able to, with one screen, look in multiple areas, control multiple armies a single time. It's just insane. So it's just intense to see in how these players are going to be, continuing to get better and better, where, master players today may become bronze players tomorrow because of how good people are getting.
Yeah. Alright, so nice harass there by Vindicta. I don't think you will be able to take down this base though, but he's keeping SouLeer occupied in his side of the map instead of attacking him. I mean, I think if SouLeer wanted to, he might have been able to just attack. Oh, actually no, never mind. He's got a really nice defense there, a really nice wall of supply depots. Depot. I don't know, how do you pronounce it? Depot or depot?
I say depot.
Okay. Alright, I guess I'll just adopt your way.
I'm Midwestern though, we say things weird.
I mean, yeah, I think it's one of those words that you could just pronounce it in like 2 different ways, just like other words,
Yeah, the guy that's been coaching me, he says depot, and it always throws me off when he says depot. I have to remember he means depot.
Yeah.
It just kind of where you come from and how you pronounce it. It's really crazy. I've been watching the APM of these guys, and SouLeer at times getting up to 1200 APM. Just crazy amounts of APM, but some really good stuff here. We do have the tanks coming out from Vindicta, trying to get some good pot shots off on all of this army, and we'll eventually keep pushing onto the creep, keep pushing this back. And this is what Vindicta is, I guess, in a sense known for. He's good for these tank pushes. He knows how to just slowly creep up on his opponent without overextending and having that backing. And this is where SouLeer's going to struggle the most. This is where he needs to figure out how he's going to approach this, because right now, if he just keeps throwing his army at this, he's not going to have enough to defend this.
Yep, and oh, looks like SouLeer's going to try to go for a wraparound, but it kind of botches a little bit. One army a little bit lagging behind, but I think he has just enough army supply. Yeah, he definitely has enough army to defend against this. So looked a bit scary, but we're finally able to defend and push back Vindicta, and might actually overtake him here. There's a lot of swarm. We'll see.
Yeah, this is really nice. He is going to eventually getting those tanks over to help with this. All the Banelings are gone, so now it's just Lean Bane or excuse me, Ling Hydra with a Roach in there, and now with more units coming out, he should be able to push this back, but this is the first time we've seen SouLeer really kind of press into Vindicta's base at this point, and he's going to be able to clean out this third base. He's going to be able to start shutting down a lot of this. The reinforcements here from Vindicta will eventually be able to clean this up, but some really good work here from SouLeer. Now SouLeer ahead in workers, ahead in army supply, and just looking pretty good while still taking bases.
Yeah, and I am getting a little worried here for Vindicta, mainly because these Ultralists, these Vipers, the tier 3 units that are really good against the composition of Vindicta are being produced by SouLeer. So in a minute or two, I think SouLeer might be able to take down Vindicta for good, but I mean, he does have a good setup. He got planetaries all over the place. He's got some tanks, although it's been reset a bit. If he can, you know, make a bit more tanks, maybe get some additional liberators, as he's making twice in the production tab. He should be able to maybe defend against this push that's coming.
Mm-hmm. We see Vindicta taking the base. I'm worried altogether. It is good because he is going into Liberators, but adding on another starport, he's got Fusion Core coming through as well. He's got +2 finishing up for his vehicle weapons. But I don't know. I think if SouLeer can get a good army here, it's going to present a little bit of some issues for Vindicta.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen in the past 2 games where SouLeer has gotten good leads, but wasn't able to close. So there's always still that chance that Vindicta can come back into the game. As even though SouLeer's lead is like really huge right now, well, I guess not really huge, but decently huge. There's always that chance that Vindicta can pull off a player here or two and just come back to the game, make his way back. I mean, the worker count pretty even. Army supply still in favor of SouLeer. But definitely doesn't want to get overconfident and just throw the lead.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Vindicta, again, still trying to keep SouLeer at home. There's Corruptors out now. There's those Ultralists that are starting to pile up. We've got the Greater Spire on the way here, so eventually SouLeer will have that Broodlord tech, and that is when things get even tougher here for the Terran player. He's doing a good job. He's got these sensor towers up to see exactly where his opponent is coming from without having to use scans, but Vindicta still has to be careful. He's behind in army. He's, you know, even in workers, but at this point, if SouLeer does do a big attack, it could spell disaster for Vindicta. There's not a whole lot of tanks. There's only a few. It's mainly, you know, planetary fortresses and a few of these liberators, so.
Alright, Greater Spire about to be done. That'll allow him to start producing those Broodlords. Ooh, actually this medevac just barely coming out alive. But there are Vipers here, there are Ultralists, and he's gonna go for it.
Yep, nice multi-pronged crash here. We've got units attacking the third. We've got units attacking into the naturals. Some good blinding clouds going to go down to shut down these tanks. Again, it's mainly Marines and Marauder tank. The Liberators doing a good job here on the 4th base, but with these Ultras, with the Hydras and stuff on the other side, we'll be able to get quite a bit of damage done. We'll eventually force a retreat here from SouLeer, but in the end, not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, he did lose a bit of Corruptors, which kind of delays the plan of going for Broodlords. Instead, he's going to actually go for a lot of Lings and Banelings here. I'm not sure if the... Oh, actually, you know what? There's not a lot of tanks, so I think that should be okay. That's probably a good move,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of bow.
Yeah, I mean, with that initial attack that just happened, he was able to take out most of the tanks that were there with this force of Vindicta. There's only like 1 tank. There are some ghosts, but against that many Lings, against that many Banelings and Corruptors, you're not going to have as much. Doing a pretty good job there, actually shutting down the Vipers, so not going to have that, but with the Banelings rolling in here, with the Marines and stuff, going to get the base, and you know what? I think Vindicta's in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, even losing 20 workers and resetting again some of these ghost counts. That I mean, if you've seen Vindicta play in the past, he's really good with ghosts, especially in the late game. He does a lot of nuke plays. So resetting those ghosts, that's gonna definitely help further on, as those ghosts are pretty dangerous against things like Ultralists, or yeah, they're good against Ultralists and Brood Lords, and that allows SouLeer to be able to kind of start producing those Ultralists and Brood Lords if he wanted to, and feel safe that there's not going to be a lot of ghosts to snipe them down.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's going to be a big key here for SouLeer. We already see a nuke coming down here on this bottom base. Nothing's going to be moved till just now, which there's only about 5 drones, but at the same time, can be able to put a little bit of damage on, and if he wants to, potentially use these nukes as defensive units. So
hey, we seen the nuke in this game. We all win as viewers. And here we go, Banelings rolling in. So many Ultralists, Hydralists. Nice blinding cloud on those tanks, and this is the swarm overtaking Vindicta, and it forces him to GG. And SouLeer will take the first points on the scoreboard for him, and score will be 2-1.
yeah, definitely a really good job there, SouLeer, changing things up, and I think it's really kind of helped them out there. So I'd love to see more of that kind of play coming out from SouLeer as the series goes on.
All right, heading back into EU here. In the meantime, as we get into our next game here, I just want to give another shout out to one of our other sponsors, GameStop. They have always given power to the players, and now they're bringing it specifically to esports players. In fact, they're opening a new state-of-the-art GameStop Performance Center in order to help with player development, coaching, and training. They're producing original content to help the esports community learn. And I just want to thank our friends on GameStop for their commitment and also their support for the esports community. So, head on over to their website. Maybe even do some of the sponsor quests on Matcherino. Give them a follow on Twitter, and show them some love. All right, next map will be on Acropolis. All right, here we got the players here. Let's see if they're ready. All right, SouLeer asking for 1 second here. So we shall start as soon as he is ready. But in the meantime, guys, make sure you go ahead and go to the match arena and enter the coupon code, which will help add to the prize pool, 50 cents for free. You don't need to pay out of your pocket, just enter it and it'll donate for free. We're currently over, let's see here. How much? Okay, looks like we're currently at $75.55. So, just head on over and increase that prize pool, and I'm sure the players will appreciate it. All right, Gravity, you still there? Okay, looks like...
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had it.
Okay. here, spawning at the bottom right, we have the red Terran player. Let's actually update the scoreboard here. 2-1. He's up 2-1. Can he win this next game? It is Vindicta.
Alrighty. And in the top left, in the orange, give it up. It's the Zerg player, SouLeer.
Alright, so immediately I like this from SouLeer. He's actually going for the hatch first. Acropolis is one of those maps that are pretty far, pretty big, so you don't expect the Terran player to get to your base rather quickly, so we'll feel safe to just throw down the hatch, even getting the gas before the pool.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this coming out. We've seen, SouLeer in the beginning trying to go for the quick pull first, trying to get aggressive and stuff like that, and it really wasn't working for him. But sitting back, playing a little bit more of an economic game, really has, kind of shown a little bit better for him. And on a map like this, where there's a lot of good choke points, where there's one main entrance into your opponent's base. Playing maybe that more economic style will give them a little bit of an advantage to just keep pressing into the front.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see pools finishing up. I wonder if he's gonna go ahead and try to pull some Nidus play, because the main base is actually pretty big. There's a lot of dark spots, dark areas that he can pull off a Nidus worm. But actually, he's gonna take the guys off of gas and just research link speed. We'll just rely on speed links for the meantime to defend and attack. Reaper does come into the natural, and does he get significant damage done? Looks like a nice micro so far from SouLeer. We'll be able to buy some time for that queen to pop up, and it does, to defend and push back that Reaper.
Yeah, a really nice job there. We've seen SouLeer just have some really good lean micro. And he's able to kind of delay things as much as possible till he can get out what he needs to defend against whatever it is. And even going to be able to see kind of the timing there of that third base. Sees that it is going to be, pretty much on time, so he's not worried about some kind of two-base all-in play coming from SouLeer. And, just going to get those Hellions out. Going to get potentially the starport down, but going to go into a quick third behind this, so...
Yeah, it's gonna work out really nicely for him, because he did even start that third CC slightly before the Zerg even made his third hatchery. So he's gonna be pretty safe for the next foreseeable future, knowing that Zerg is going for his own third base, will probably be droning up, and there's not gonna be a fast aggressive attack like a roach push or something. SouLeer gonna go ahead and send his Overlord in. We'll be able to maybe possibly get the scout on those tech labs and reactor. Yep, he does. So you know what's up.
Yep, does definitely know that it is now mech coming through. More than likely, it's gonna be this battle mech style coming out. Gonna get aggressive with it, and potentially see an armory come down pretty quick and do like a Hellbat Cyclone push. It can be so deadly if not properly taken care of. Blue Flame is on the way, as well as the Reaper just going to get in, going to try to get as much scouting as possible before he does eventually die there. So
yeah, I think he did scout the two factories, one with the tech lab and one with the reactor. I think you should expect some Blue Flame Hellions. I'm surprised there's actually no roaches or mass queens being produced right now, because this Blue Flame upgrade is gonna be finished up, pretty soon. It's halfway done. So, oh, actually he's making spores. Okay. Huh. I guess he's gonna rely on banelings to defend against these Hellbats, and then just use the spores to defend against any potential banshees that's incoming.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible here. Where a map like this is really good for air in general, but also in a sense, battle cruisers as well. We sometimes see that on this map. That's not the case of this particular game, but it is something that has happened before. So always have to kind of be wary of it. And just in case, while you're out fighting, you have a little bit of extra defense there. The Bailey Nest gonna finish up, and there's a lot of Hellions here. Gonna try to get as much damage as possible. So.
Oh my god. Look at all those fried drones. Barbecue.
Oh man,
my god.
22 drones go down. He still has quite a few Hellions here, and this is looking pretty crazy right now from Vindicta. Really gonna allow the worker differential to come in here.
Yeah, he's trying to use that Cero evolution chamber block, but that's just, oh my god, so much drones going down here.
Yeah. Total of 24 go down, 36 lings altogether so far. The amount of 13 Hellions, a Reaper, and an SEV. So definitely putting in some work there altogether.
Jesus
we have
Christ.
a little bit of a counterattack coming now for SouLeer as well. Well, third base has been taken for Vindicta. And, I think that Vindicta has enough to kind of defend against this pressure, but at that point, SouLeer just goes ahead and returns home.
Yeah, there's just too much Hellions here for his Lings to do any damage. And now he's actually he might get some additional drones here. There's not much. The Lings, few Lings here and there, but yeah, he's gonna dive in, get as much drone kills as he can get. How much more can he get? So far, it's 3, 4, and he will get additional 4.
Yep, and this is where it's gonna get kind of interesting. I mean, Vindicta's doing a pretty good job of throwing those units in there, getting a couple of kills, but if he keeps getting these small amounts of kills like it is now because SouLeer is ready for this, he's going to find himself pushing himself behind. So he has to be super careful with this. And at home, he is getting Liberators. He's getting more of what he wants to get, plus getting upgrades, but it's going to be kind of tough here if he just keeps throwing away these Hellions and not getting any return out of them. We even see a Spire coming out here from SouLeer, so.
Yep, 15 mutas on the production tab. And Vindicta, does he scout this? No, he hasn't scouted the Spire, so but you can kind of insinuate. I mean, assuming he saw a lot of Lings, Banelings. I mean, you can probably maybe say, oh, the threat of mutas is upon me soon, and he does scout it. Got the scan, see the muta list. And he's gonna how he's gonna defend against this? Let's see. He does have some cyclones, but not enough to fully kill these mutas here. So it could be a little bit troublesome.
Yeah, I mean, he really doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air. Only a few cyclones to defend against this. He doesn't have any turrets up. He's trying to get them up as quick as possible, but just now gonna finish 2 of them. Cyclone's trying to put in some work here, but these mutas just getting a lot of kills. Liberator is going to return home to try to help deal with this. The mine's not going to be able to burrow in time, and this is what SouLeer needed. I think he's doing a pretty good job here. Unfortunately, Mass Hellion does not beat Mass Muta, so.
Oh man!
We do have a.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we do have a Thor coming out, so it's going to help with this. But I think at this point, SouLeer's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, these mutas are doing so much damage. I mean, he can't get into the middle line, but he can get on top of the production tab, or the production building rather, and delay this base from going down. And ooh, these mutas making quick work, getting 17 total SCVs. So nice pick off. Might even get this Thor here. Oh wow, just got it just before the repair. Really nice. Can Vindicta stabilize here? Oh, someone is disconnecting.
That's me. It froze on me for a second.
Ah, okay. Or hopefully
so
it's.
If it doesn't, I'll leave. If it keeps it up,
Game paused.
I'll leave. Okay.
Okay, he just paused.
Okay, I think it's good. I think we're good.
All right, cool.
Okay. But yeah, if it does that again, I'll leave and get that fixed.
All right, looks like it's good so far. So yeah. Anyhow, we have a really nice harass here by SouLeer. He's gonna actually get some additional SCVs at the expense of his Mutalisk here, and it's pretty worth it. 30 so far, 30 SCVs going down so far. Now he's retaking the worker lead, and now he's looking to even up the series here, 2-2. But can Vindicta make a comeback?
Yeah, I mean, that was really good for SouLeer. It really allowed him to get more drone production out without having to worry about some big attack. So that was really nice on his part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if he can keep Vindicta at home, that's going to allow him to build out, to keep, you know, getting up this army and stuff that he really wants, and should be pretty good.
Yeah, and I really love this decision by SouLeer. He's kind of gone for Baneling Mutalisk competition throughout this whole game, and all of a sudden he is transitioning into roaches, which is going to be really much better against the mech army of SouLeer, or Vindicta rather, and yeah, it should allow him to transition more smoothly in terms of against the mech army of Vindicta. And still doing some additional damage with these Mutalisks. He's got a few left. Can go ahead and just fly and do some damage here and there.
Yeah, and now we see the creep spread kind of coming out even more here from SouLeer. So he's taking those additional bases, and again, just trying to keep the Terran at home. It's still going to be this battle mech style coming out from Vindicta, but with switching into those roaches, like you said, I mean, it's going to provide a little bit better for against this kind of Hellion Cyclone style. Even has speed on the way for both his roaches and for the Banelings. So,
all right, 13 Banelings morphing in, looking like he might go for an attack, but oh, actually he needs to retreat a little. Does get spotted by these Hellions at the watchtower. All right, looks like SouLeer is looking to attack here. He's got the roaches on one side, some Banelings and roaches on the other.
yeah, I mean, this is looking really good. The Mutas and, you know, most of this army going to be on the other side, looking to get a little bit of a choke here. He's going to be able to get on top of most of the army here. The tanks in the back, though, are going to provide a lot of coverage fire. These Thors will eventually fall, so the Mutas going to be a little bit better off, even though they're not even... I think they went into... Did they die? But really good stuff there. Going to be able to pick up most of the tanks. We'll have to back up, though, because the Planetary Fortress is dealing so much damage. Even Vindicta trying to take a little bit more bases, but with the threat at his door, really needs to make sure he gets all those units out that he can.
Alright, SouLeer pretty much maxed out at this point. Vindicta at 142 total supply, so has a little bit of work to catch back up. He does have a bit more workers, 8 worker lead, so that's good for him. But I think as a Terran player, you pretty much don't need 79 workers. I don't think you got. I mean, you got Muse. You can use, I think, 66 to 70 around is, or 62, 72 is around a good range. But anyhow, looks like they try to get some additional Hellion run-by damage. Let's get 5 drones, but that does get cleaned up in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Fusion Core going to come out now for our Terran player. So, going to go into some more of basically these Tech Lab starports, and we should be seeing either some more Liberators coming out, which we do have the Advanced Ballistics coming out, and we may even start seeing some Battle Cruisers if it gets too late here. But so far, SouLeer as well, just staying on this kind of lower tech army, getting the damage that he really needs to be done, and doing a pretty good job so far with it.
Yep, and now that SouLeer has a big bank, he's gonna go ahead and start trading out these roaches, because again, roaches not the best in the late game, and does get 7 SCV kills, so nice.
Yeah, behind the SouLeer is actually getting some Corruptors as well, so he is proceeding into this late game tech. It's going to get scanned
that there is a Spire still out, which, obviously because of the mutas, that's going to be there. But seems that it hasn't at least started into the Greater Spire yet. So there's not a threat of Broodlords yet. There's not that big threat. And, as this goes on, I think those Broodlords are going to do a very good job against us. And considering most of this army from Vindicta is mainly a ground-based army.
Yeah, really nice nut there by SouLeer on that planetary will decrease the amount of bases, and Vindicta really needs to get additional bases to help fund his mech army, because those mech armies, they need a lot of gas, and you need to mine a lot of gas, and you need to expand to mine a lot of gas. So yeah, definitely want to get those bases up and running. And oh, another additional Hellion run by, does get 10 drones, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, these have been really nice from Vindicta, just to make sure that, he's still at least getting some damage done, distracting the army or keeping the army on one side of the map while those Hellions are just trying to get as much on the other side. They haven't been paying off as much just because of how much he has been losing, but again, it's still kind of keeping SouLeer having to produce, in a sense, more of these drones instead of being able to produce army units. So.
Alright, looks like the Greater Spire will be finishing at this moment. We'll see if he does decide to go for Broodlords, or if maybe he just add some additional Vipers to his army. But he's actually letting Vindicta expand to the bottom side. You definitely want to not let the Terran expand, throughout the whole place, because once they get like a good amount of bases, expansions, it's going to be really tough to take them down. I mean, it's how planetary can shoot, and they're tougher to take down. So don't want to just let the Terran go crazy on the expansions. But anyhow, Blue Lords are morphing in. It does get scanned, so Vindicta does scout this, and he's starting to make some doors, and he might want to actually start producing some Vikings. Oh, nice fungal growth there, catching a bit of Cyclones.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. It looked like Vindicta tried to split those out, seeing that there was that
was the infestors there, but just wasn't able to get it out quick enough. And now Broodlords are out here, so this is going to make it really, really tough for the Terran. I mean, he does have quite a few Cyclones, and he does have those Thors, but for the most part, I mean, he's having to hunker down. He's having to really play turtley to keep this going.
Alright, looks like Vindicta going to go ahead and attack this northern base here. Spinecrawler is not done yet, but the Hydralisk does come and reinforce and defend against this, and we'll be able to push this back. In the meantime, the Roaches at the bottom side trying to get some damage done, but there's just so much tanks and Liberators that it's pretty much unbreakable at this point. So nice try for SouLeer to try to get some damage done with these Roaches and Hydralisks, but so far not too much can be accomplished, as Vindicta has a really nice defensive setup with these sensor towers as well as these tank placement.
Yeah, I mean, and right now SouLeer is just trying to essentially build up his Broodlord force while still defending these pressures coming out from Vindicta. Both sides are maxed out, and they're starting to build up a little bit of that bank. So as these go on, they're going to be able to continue to fork out that money to remax their army. But until then, SouLeer just kind of sitting back. He's getting his upgrades. He's getting everything that he needs so that whenever he does make this big attack, that he's going to be able to start taking out all of these CCs and all of the army there trying to block him out.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
This is going to turn ugly, guys. So much Broodlords here, so much Liberators as well. Oh my god, these doors are doing so much damage. Oh my god, these Viper needs to get the blind clouds on the doors, not the tanks. But I think there's just enough Broodlords to defend against this. Oh man.
Yeah, this is really good. Those Vipers doing a fantastic job of actually shutting down a lot of the economy here. It's down to just the Broodlord Corruptors, and they will eventually push back as there's still just so many Thors here remaining. But these Broodlords trying to kind of stutter step micro in a sense. Vipers are out of energy, so they are trying to refill as well. And those are going to help get it more blinding clouds. But it looks like Vindicta is ready to pounce. He's ready to attack here. And these Corruptors aren't going to be able to hit much of anything since there's nothing in the air.
Oh, a little bit of an overextension by Vindicta, but at least he got the Broodlord, so that's really nice. But now he's got to replenish his army, and look at his resources. He doesn't really have a lot of resources to replenish his army, and SouLeer has a good gas bank, although he's a little lacking on the mineral count. But he's going to go ahead and morph some Broodlords at the expansion here at the northern side, northern right side. And let's see, can Vindicta defend against this? He got 4 Thors. His Hellion is going to go to the other side, I think, to do some additional harass. There are Vikings being made, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, and this is going to become down to it where, you know, one of these players is going to overextend a little too much. Some nice pull is going to allow these Thors to get right into the middle of the Broodlords, of these Hydras, and just going to start eliminating. The big things are going to be these planetary fortresses, but I think you can blinding cloud them, and you should be more than okay to get those taken care of. But it is resetting the tank count here. It is resetting the Thor count. There are currently just 2 Thors and 9 tanks out for the Terran player, with Liberators and stuff trying to come through here. So SouLeer having to pull apart this army just so that he can really kind of engage into this. Vindicta's trying to get some run around damage, but not getting any luck, unfortunately.
Alright, he's going to go ahead and morph some additional Broodlords. Let's see if he can break this. This is a really tough position. A lot of tanks, a couple of Liberators, even the Planetary Fortress. And let's see how good that... Oh, Viper does get the nice blinding cloud on one of the tank at the doors. And I think this is going to be maybe in favor of SouLeer, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to this Thor if he's going to be able to hold off. If he can get the Broodlords, then it's going to be a pretty good job coming out here. But as long as these Broodlords are alive, these tanks, though they're going to be able to hold this off, going to provide a little bit of craziness.
Yo, this Thor is like surviving like forever. He has like 99.2 lives or something because these... Oh my god, yeah, he's going to defend against this. Wow.
Yeah, the heals there, the repairs from those SCVs, really holding that alive. And as we see, a lot of those are going to go down. The Broodlord's going to dissipate. GG's going to be called as Vindicta takes game number 4 there.
I mean, I know there's no MVPs, but I'm giving that Thor the MVP of this game.
Yeah.
He killed like 11, I don't know, 10 Broodlords there.
Yeah, I mean, he did a really good job. And like I said, I mean, if he hadn't been repairing that, that would have been a pretty tough there. That was keeping him alive. So, really good job there.
And again, that game is kind of reminiscent of the first and second game where SouLeer was in a pretty solid position. I mean, he's got the muted damage that he wanted. He got the, he transitioned into the roaches, which were better against the mech army of Vindicta, but he was not able to close it out. He allowed Vindicta to just expand and build up his mech army, and just wasn't able to close it out. And he took some engagements where his Broodlords were just exposed. The Vipers were lagging behind, didn't get or they were actually consuming energy, and just didn't use those Vipers to blind cloud those doors. So Vindicta will take that 3-1 lead, and SouLeer chooses Thunderbird as his next map. So let's go ahead and make that.
Alrighty.
All right, looks like the prize pool for the Matcherino has jumped up to $77.55. Thank you for the additional coupons donation. We appreciate it, guys. I'm sure the players does as well. If there's still some coupons codes left and you haven't done so yet, just feel free to go head on over to Matcherino and enter those coupon codes.
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to see how many coupon codes were left. Maybe Sushi or someone would know a little bit better. But also, guys, make sure to be careful with the donation or with the coupons that you just kind of limited a little bit to one account. I know that some people like to try to do like multiple accounts, and that can actually hurt sponsorships and stuff like that with these. So just be careful and be wary of that. But we still appreciate you guys applying those codes and helping out. So
yeah, for sure. All right, let's get headed into this 5th game here. Spawning at the bottom right, we have the orange Zerg player from the team of Wizards Esports Club. He's down 1-3. Can he start making the comeback? It is SouLeer.
alrighty, and in the top right, playing for Alpha X, is the Red Terran player. Give it up. It is Vindicta. Vindicta has a vendetta for this Zerg player. Will he be able to make it happen and close it out? We'll have to find out.
Yep, and one interesting thing about this map is, of course, the middle of the map. There's that little mineral patch area. Although you can always send a worker and just mine from it to create a opening. So I wonder if any of the players will just do that or just go around. It looks like Vindicta choosing to just ring around the rosy here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of kind of like GSL players and stuff do this, where they will go ahead and clear up at least a patch so that they can, in the end, whenever they come out for the Reaper or something like that, they can just kind of jump across, or when they come with their army, they have a little bit of a shortcut there. But Vindicta not choosing to do that here. We have the hatchery coming out, as it is a hatch first play, again from SouLeer. And what does SouLeer do from here? I mean, he's tried to kind of go to the late game. Vindicta able to play that mech very well against the Zerg player. Does he keep in that style? And, does SouLeer continue to play like an aggressive game? Does he go like Ling Bang Hydra and just continuously try to slam into the Terran? Or, what should we see here?
Well, I mean, throughout these whole series, all the games, SouLeer has been put himself in a pretty good position throughout all the games in order to win. But he just, the games that he's lost, he hasn't been able to close it. So I think if he can just play his regular game and just refine the late game where he can just like make sure he can close it, more smoothly, then I think he should be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like it's been a series where Vindicta has been dominant and like SouLeer has been looking like a scrub or something. And I mean, SouLeer has been in these games and has been in the lead in plenty of these games. So I wouldn't change as much and just refine a little bit of his closing game.
I really like this coming out from SouLeer. He's going to go ahead, go into a third base pretty quickly, and just get that expansion up and running. And on this map, with the main ramp kind of being in the front, usually you can defend it pretty well. And for Zerg players, able to expand without having to worry about someone just jumping right into your base. So I do like that from SouLeer. Going to try to take advantage of that behind this. I think that just playing kind of how he's been playing this whole series.
Yeah, and actually, we do have 2 starports here. Interesting. Vindicta pulling out a new build order or something. What do you think this is? Do you think this is for like battle cruisers or for some Banshees or Liberators?
It could be either one. We'll just have to kind of see. Yep, it's going to be battle cruisers.
Oh boy.
Which is going to be really nice. He's going to be able to jump right on top of these armies, and because SouLeer has went this very almost greedy sense, he might have a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have a whole lot of queens at this point. He hasn't scouted this out. He does have a roach ward on the way, but if SouLeer isn't careful, if he doesn't scout this in time, we may be seeing another victory here for Vindicta.
Yeah, this is pretty much in the dark for SouLeer. Hasn't been able to scout this at all. And you know what? I really love this decision by Vindicta, because throughout this whole game, he has not gone battle cruisers just at all, like once. And now he's just changing it up, going for double starport battle cruisers, and hoping to catch SouLeer off guard here and go up 4-1 in the series. But there are some sport callers and actually a Nidus worm coming down for SouLeer. So if he can attack before these battle cruisers can come out and do a lot of damage, oh, this is going to be really good for SouLeer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Vindicta just doing a beautiful job here, as again, SouLeer hasn't been super aggressive this whole matchup. He is sitting back, just trying to defend against what little plays are coming out, but actually looks like he's going to go in for a Nidus worm here. That's pretty nice. The battle cruisers are almost done though, so we'll eventually be able to get cleaned up. This isn't going to finish at all. That's going to get shut down here, and as these battle cruisers pop out, another Nidus in the front as well. Does Vindicta keep the battle cruisers at home, or does he send those across and try to do damage while still defending these little attacks coming out here from SouLeer?
Oh man, this is really well defended so far from Vindicta. Has been able to shut down 2 Nidus worm, and these battle cruisers are out. They can go ahead and go across the map or help defend.
Yeah, another Nidus again here in the main. I don't think he's scouted it just yet, as he's been dealing with all these roaches coming out into the natural. The battle cruiser should be able to help deal with a lot of these roaches, but all of these queens, all of these roaches going to go straight into the main, going to fly right on top of this Nidus worm, but the queens aren't focusing down until just now. The battle cruisers, they're going to get healed as well. All the roaches coming in here, the Hellions are trying to help stop this, and I think SouLeer may end up having this. He's going to force a pickup here. Some more battle cruisers are on the way, but I don't think they're going to get out in time, and all this is going to start falling down. It really kind of hangs in the balance here of these battle cruisers, but so much damage has been done. 23 plus workers have gone down. This is looking disastrous right now for Vindicta.
Yeah, 26 workers going down, and all the workers evacuating. They're making journey across the world, finding a new home. Oh, but he does retreat into these roaches. Unfortunate. And this is I would say this is pretty much a build order loss. I mean, SouLeer caught Vindicta with his pants down and was able to punish him for going for this double starport battle cruiser build. But I mean, if he would have let him go for this build without any aggression, this could have worked. But unfortunately for Vindicta, does not look like this is his game to win.
Yeah, I mean, it really is unfortunate there because of how SouLeer has been playing this whole series. Vindicta tried to change it up, but unfortunately at the same time, SouLeer changing it up. Oh, excuse me. Gets a lot of damage. Now, these battle cruisers are still getting some damage done, and there's not a whole lot of defense at home. Well, most of these roaches are having to essentially fly back while all of these buildings are floating. There is still a chance here for Vindicta, but it's a very slim chance. I mean, it all rests on these battle cruisers.
Oh yeah, as you say that, I'm looking at the worker count. They're pretty much even, and there's not much queens here. Oh my god, this could actually work for Vindicta.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he can eliminate a lot of this, Vindicta might be able to do it. He is going to throw down a couple of mules to help heal up these battle cruisers, because these are the key to his survival at this point. The Roach is going to go around and try to pick up whatever buildings they can, and in a sense, this is a base race at this point. I like this from Vindicta as well, getting a couple of these of the overlords, trying to get everything that they can. Doing a pretty good job here again with the mules, trying to heal up all of these units as they are starting to get low. Trying to take on all of these spore crawlers. The Yamada cannon's going to go off, and yeah, I mean, if these battle cruisers fall, it's all over here.
Oh my god. I was not weird how much queens went down during that battle, but oh yeah, this is definitely Vindicta's game. There's no anti-air. I mean, Vindicta can just float his buildings around, and there's just no answer for these battle cruisers. All the queens are gone, and these corrosive bows trying to take down so many buildings. I don't think that will ever happen. Oh man, what a turnaround here.
Yeah, I mean, it is good because at the point, SouLeer does have some buildings around the map, so eventually maybe be able to do something, but he doesn't have enough to make any more units. He doesn't have really the drones to produce anything else here, so this is all he has. I mean, he has a really nice army, but it's all in roaches and ravengers, and you know, he is trying to get on top of all of these you know, production buildings and stuff like that, but with Crosabile, it's so hard to do, and at any point he could literally just transfer on top of these roaches and just take them out. So really well done there from Vindicta, turning a really bad situation into his favor. So
Man, I feel a bit sorry for SouLeer, because for a sec it did look good for him, but yeah, losing all those queens and not having the correct answer for it. I mean, he did have a lot of time to prepare for it. He did scout those battle cruisers way ahead of time, so but just was too busy during that Nidus attack to focus on the anti-battle cruiser follow-up, and yeah, unfortunate way to lose this game here.
yeah, I mean, it's a really nice counter coming out from Vindicta, and like I said, you know, had it not been for those battle cruisers, we would have been seeing a different result. But as it stands, with even now Banshees coming out, they're going to be able to start cleaning up all of this. They have an idea where Vindicta's buildings are, but at this point he can just literally fly them wherever he needs to and finish this up. And SouLeer has 31 minerals with no way to gain additional minerals. This is at the least a Vindicta win here. So
He's gonna get this command center just for his own mental state. I mean,
Yeah.
just no way for him to win though, and he GG's. Vindicta will go up 4-1 and ace match, 1 win away from securing this best of 9 series.
yeah, I mean, really good there. Just like I said, very unfortunate there for SouLeer that, you know, this really good attack was not able to finalize things, and it really just it comes down to the healing of those BCs as well as just not having a counter.
Alright, so gonna be SouLeer's map of choice. Alright, before we get into the next game, guys, we'd just like to do a little bit of a shout out to, once again, 24-Hour Fitness. They have over 430 locations nationwide, all fully equipped with steel classes, pools, weights, cardio machines, all that you need in the exercise gym. And yeah, they're open 24/7, so you can go anytime. And if you need, they have awesome personal trainers that can help you customize a plan that fits your schedule, your life, in order to help deliver the results that you're looking for. So if you haven't done so, go ahead and check out 24-Hour Fitness. Actually, we have a a 30-second commercial from 24 Hour Fitness, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that, and we'll be right back.
Time is now, place is here to rest. Feeling the holes on my soul. I see, I like, I go, I get. No one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now. Go, I get, go, I get now.
All right, there it is, 24 Hour Fitness. Hope you guys will take a look and pay them a visit. And yeah, we're headed into our next match here. Game has started, maps are loading, and this might potentially be our last game here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. 4-1. All right, spawning at the bottom right, we have our red Terran player from Team Alpha X, 1 win away from securing the first place prize. He is Vindicta.
Alrighty, and in the top left, in the blue, has been playing strong this whole game, this whole series. Can he make a comeback here and get the reverse all kill? Give it up. It's the Zerg player known as SouLeer, Wizard Esports Club.
All right, Cyber Force. What do you think about Cyber Force for these players?
I love Cyber Forest. I think it's a really great map. A lot of times I feel like it's a very good Zerg player map just because there's so many different pathways. There's different angles and stuff that you can use as a Zerg player to use this. It's also a good map for tanks, as we see a lot of the ledges and rocks and stuff that you can get set up on and just allow carnage to rain upon your opponent. I think in this case, Vindicta with his tank style, with his mech style, it's going to fare very well in here. But if SouLeer can get aggressive, if he can get in and get some damage done, I think he could end up taking the map off of Vindicta here. He's been showing some really strong play, but as long as he can keep it up and not take too much of his own like he did last game, I think he has a good chance in here. And again, with the big area in the main, I feel like, Nidus plays are really good on here. You're going to be able to really stretch your opponent thin. Maybe he'll try doing that. I mean, we saw how good that Nidus play was. It just so happened that Vindicta had those battle cruisers. So I'd love to see another Nidus play and see something like that going on.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely will need to start winning this game. I mean, he definitely has to reverse all kill at this point in order to hope to come out of this as the winner. But in the meantime, we do see a factory going down for Vindicta. Reaper jumping into the natural, but is greeted with 4 lings. So far throughout this whole series, hasn't been able to do too much damage with this Reaper, the initial Reaper at least, as SouLeer has been able to defend it pretty well, and this is no exception at all.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it all series long. SouLeer has some really good micro with those early lanes, with the Queen, and just kind of delaying things until he can get out what he needs. And so that's really kind of helped him in this early game to be able to get this quicker third, to get everything that he wants. It's just kind of unfortunate whenever he does face some of those more difficult diversities that he ends up falling a little bit short and allowing Vindicta to kind of overcome. So, so far, not too bad though. We got just the Hellions coming out. We've got still this kind of pressure from Vindicta, but not overextending or trying to overdo himself.
Yep, we do see the lair halfway done, and Roach Warren being planted down, so his stack of choice will be Roach Warren. And with a map like this, where you can actually go across the map fairly quickly, Roaches are a nice choice here, especially against this Hellion opening by Vindicta. It looks like he will be transitioning into the Banshee play, and we'll able to see the dirt hatchery here. Okay, maybe go up. Okay, there we go. He does seize it. confirms that there is a dirt base planted down.
And I like this too. We see, Vindicta going into the Banshee. Again, SouLeer going into these ranges. He's going into a Nidus network. So we are going to see these Niduses yet again. These Banshees going to be an okay thing, but with the Queens coming out, not going to be as strong as with the Battle Cruisers. So,
oh, but this Reaper does scouts. That's a big scout. That means that he can prepare to position his SCVs and army units to take down that Nidus. And the first Nidus goes down, and it gets immediately spotted, and he should have no trouble taking this down.
yeah, definitely. I mean, he's focusing all of his efforts here, though, into the main. As we see another Nidus that we're coming down here into the front. It wouldn't surprise me if he starts trying to push this thing yet again. A lot of these SCVs aren't going to be mining, so he's not going to have as much as, say, he would have normally had. A couple of Queens are going to make it out here. Another Nidus network going to go down. And, yeah, I mean, these Queens going to heal each other up, going to get at least a little bit of killing going on, but just kind of unfortunate there to not be able to keep that up. And, SouLeer, where's it at? Okay, he does get it up again. The Roach is going to come in and help, but I think at this point, there's too many Banshees, not any detection, and, this push is going to fail, unfortunately. GG will be called.
All right, Vindicta will be the winner of this Alpha Pro Series.
Time is now, place is here to rest.
Congrats to him. He will be able to go home with 70% of the prize pool, so that's around, it looks like $54.29. But SouLeer does not go home empty-handed. He will go home at least with 30%, which is $23.27.
So even though he did lose, he still gets a little bit of prize money as well as some nice change as well there. So.
All right, thanking everyone for playing and casting.
Yeah.
And GG's. All right. So 5-1 is your final score. But I would like to emphasize that SouLeer did not play bad at all. He was in pretty good position in all the games. Put up a nice showing for himself, and just was unlucky a few times. Vindicta able to pull out the 5-1 win here.
Yeah, I mean, good games the whole time, and wasn't disappointed at all. Just unfortunate, SouLeer just couldn't get it done, and Vindicta was just playing on top of this game, was able to get everything that he needed done, and showed some really good stuff there. So.
Yep. All right. Since we're at the end of our cast, I'd like to do one more sponsor shout-outs to GameStop. Let me go ahead and pull up this logo here. GameStop. They're always giving power to the players, and also if you have I guess like a broken controller, remote controller, or you have some old games that you like to trade in. Even some old cell phones that you don't use anymore and would like to trade in for some cash or even some GameStop credit, you can do so at your local GameStop. And in order to find your local GameStop, you can search, either Google it or just go to their official website and check them out. It's pretty nice with their trade-in programs. And would like to thank our friends at GameStop for always supporting us and also showing their commitment and support for the esports community. So yeah. All right, that pretty much wraps it. Any last words before we wrap this whole thing up, Gravity?
Nah, man. I'm really happy with the games. I wish we would have been able to go the full distance, but with the games that we got, they were very close, very action-packed. So can't complain too much. Vindicta obviously has been showing some really strong results, been doing really well, and I'm excited to see him in the future as he continues to get better. And SouLeer, first time seeing him kind of play, but man, what a strong player! I think there's just a couple of things that maybe he could practice on to improve, and I think he would be a very, very tough nut to crack. So, very good job from both of the players. I'm super happy with that, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the next the next series. So,
Yeah, for sure. Hope to see SouLeer back as well as Vindicta. Hope you guys like the series, like the games. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and as well as the submitting the Matcherino coupon codes as well. Definitely the players would appreciated that. Hope you guys will tune into our next Alpha Pro series whenever that is, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Nuclear missile ready.